Hey there, everybody. It's HeroicLegend here, and I'm playing for you guys Lobotomy Corporation. Face the fear, build the future. This game is a lot of fun for me. I really do enjoy it, and I'm hoping you will too. I have some data in here, but it doesn't really matter anymore, so we're going to start with the first day. Yeah, we'll start new game with new observation level. We're going to reset the system. We're going to accelerate. Okay. This is loud, I know. Forgive me. You can't set the volume beforehand, and it doesn't save the volume changes that I've made previously. Give it like 1 second. There we go. One sin and hundreds of good deeds. This will be our first creature here, which we haven't stated yet what it is, so I'm not going to say it just yet. It feeds on the evil that surfaces during conversations between people. I'll explain everything when we reach a dull point. Hello, X. Welcome to Lobotomy Corporation. I'm Angela, your advisor and secretary. Even though I'm AI, feel free to talk to me. AI can have a name, you know. Yes. You just said your name was Angela. In fact, if you don't have a name, you just have a bunch of numbers, it doesn't make sense. I'd much rather have my AIs have a name than just call them AI. I'm created from one of the wings of the world. That means I am one of the best. I know what you're thinking. No, you don't. You're thinking that I look too human to be an AI, aren't you? Nope. There's a big difference. I am bound here. I cannot go anywhere I want like you do. I can open a door or prepare a cup of coffee for you, but I can't go outside to enjoy the sun or the breeze. As you can see, my hair color is that of the morning sky after the rain, my voice is that of the wisest person in the world, and my face is that of the person with the most beautiful smile. Where is it? I demand proof, woman. Haha, it was a joke. There is no such person in real life. It's your opinion. My appearance makes me the most attractive to as many people as possible. If you feel attracted to me, then I'm working as intended, and a couple of people who feel attracted to you, that's for sure. Well, AIs are far more efficient than humans with multitasking. I am the best in most areas. I can do the work of several dozen people at once. I am sure that many people who lost their jobs with me. I feel sorry for them. Enough for the introduction. Do you have anything you want to know? Well, let's learn more about you. How should I describe this in layman's terms? Well, I heard that it took enormous effort to create me. I can see that. New algorithms features were developed, writing a new chapter in the history of AI, and I serve the company. In search of solutions, we stumbled upon mysterious beings of the abnormalities. The creature that we got here is called an abnormality, and figured that we could harvest energy from these beings using a special method. While AI is commonplace nowadays, I am quite different than others. I can closely imitate human emotions. This is not easy, as emotions are unpredictable and complex. Along with other functions, I can be your perfect partner. You have joined the company at an opportune moment. Lobotomy is looking for new ways to improve its harvest process. Our systems are continually updated to support this. Speaking of which, there has been a new update just before you came. That means working conditions have improved than those of your predecessors. Think of it as my welcome gift. I hope you do well. I was about to mention you don't understand the concept of patience, do you? Manager, I think you should meet the other AIs. It's a huge corporation. There are many AIs working in different departments. If I'm the cerebrum, they're the cerebellums. Naturally, I'm your most trusted AI. You just decided that by yourself? Shall I meet them now? Okay, basically what just happened here is there would have been a mini cutscene here of one of the other AIs, or one of the seraphs that they're known. You have seen something to kind of introduce you to them and a little bit of the darker part of this game. Here's the story. We would have met the control team's AI Seraph, which is known as Malkuth. And of course we would have unlocked a little bit of the control team's path here, which you kind of have to unlock. This is kind of not something you get to just decide whether to do or not do on a whim. You have to unlock all of them. But that's no real problem right now. Alright. Now then, time for the best explanation I can give. This is our abnormality, also known as once in hundreds of good deeds. If we didn't have all this unlocked, we would have known it as O0303. The abnormalities you gain list everything on its details page. Well, almost everything. We have the story as well, but those would take a while to do. I might actually consider doing a random where I just read these for you guys, at least the randoms that we have at the moment. I might do that before I do any restarts. Anyway, in order to get the ego weapon, the ego suit, as well as sometimes the ego gift, what you need to do is you need to send your units in there to go figure out stuff about the monster so you can get the unique PE boxes. These boxes allow you to unlock these things, while visiting the creature allows you to get a chance to get its gift. However, these boxes also are also needed for you to unlock all this, which in turn unlocks this, which in turn unlocks this. So, you gain these boxes and you unlock its basic information, which then tells you what type of attack it does, what's the heroic result list, and more importantly, what the creature looks like in terms of an image, right? It tells you what type of, I guess, difficulty rating they are. And probably one of the more important things, how many boxes output you get from them. If you want my personal opinion, if you want to quickly get a success rate and a speed rate up, go for the basic information and then the abnormality escape information first. Not all of them will have as many short managerial tips, and for the most part, the abnormality work favors are always at least anywhere between 4 to 5. I've seen one maybe, I think, 6. So getting all these unlocked will take some time. You would want to unlock maybe 1 or 2 though that you know will work first. So again, for him, attachment work list and the insight work list would work best. Now, here's something neat. Any of these that you have your units work on will gradually increase as you send them to work with the abnormality. So for example, if you have someone working with attachment all the time, their attachment ability will go up, and it'll go up slowly. But if you have them work with insight, then that will go up, and you will see these results happen at the end of the workday. Now then, the abnormality work favor is probably your most important thing to know, because it can tell you what has a high chance of success and thus getting the good work result, what has a low chance and thus will probably end up getting you the bad one, or hurting or killing your units, as well as what you'll basically be raising up using them, right? So if I wanted to, I could easily have my units go and work with their insight with once in hundreds of good deeds, though attachment's probably for the best, and it gives them, and each set has of course their own little thing, which I'll get into when we start the day actually. Anyway, if you want my honest opinion, next up you should get the managerial tips. The managerial tips themselves can be pretty useful, or they can just warn you of the dangers of continuing down a certain path with your abnormality. So again, this one says whenever the work result is good, it'll employ the employee's SP, which means it doesn't matter if they've taken damage with it, white damage that is. I'll explain the damages in a sec. Actually, I'll explain it when I get around here. But it basically goes, it'll do good result, your employee's SP recovers, and that just means you don't have to worry about having them stand around to get recovered. And after fully producing boxes, it will restore SP of all employees in the department, which means for your top floor, you want things that can kind of damage the SP for just in case. So anyone who's sent into once in hundreds of good deeds containment unit will easily be able to fix it, right? One second, lower the volume a little more here. Sorry, feeling a little self-conscious about this. Anyway, another thing that you I would recommend getting managerial tips again before you complete out the abnormality work favor. Unless, of course, the tips tell you to like look for another thing. But again, the two that you want to unlock first are the information and the escape information. Well, the basic and the escape. The escape information is important because you need to know the Quailoff counter of the creature, so you know what happens. Well, so you know if it escapes or if it doesn't. If it doesn't escape, it's a little bit more relaxing to know, in my personal opinion. But it's still something to keep an eye on because they can probably still fuck with everything from inside their containment unit. Now then, moving on to weapon and suit as well as gifts. Gifts are neat because they can drop for all employees. You can have one employee who has like a different suit and weapon, and then has this, which will help it with gain more SP. And not to mention, this particular gift gives you an increased success rate with once in hundreds of good deeds. Now then, but again, the gifts are a 5% drop rate or anywhere between in the low percentile. It depends entirely on the creature itself. I like to think getting a number of good deeds will help invisibly increase your chances, but that's just me thinking. Now then, the ego weapon. This is important because these weapons you can obtain a lot of, and of course, as you do what I did, which is you take all your, boxes and data, and you bring that over with you with the restart, you keep your weapons and your suits. Of course, that means if you lose them in any way, it's going to be difficult to get them back, especially if you had a good one on a good unit, and, well, God said no, basically, as I can easily describe it. Now then, the weapon. The weapons do have a damage type. We'll have an attack type, a damage, their speed, and their range. Damage can be one of the three colors you get for work. It can be red, white, black, and blue. Red is HP damage. So, a creature that deals red damage will attack your HP. White damage is SP, or your sanity. So a creature that deals white damage, like our creature here, will attack your employees' SP and therefore make them panic and or go crazy. There are several different types of panic. The worst one yet is the one where they run around the office basically screaming their heads off. However, this is the neat thing about white weapons. White weapons can restore an employee's sanity without damaging the employee. Ergo, a white attack will easily restore the sanity, especially if you have high enough in the damage. The problem is having them stand still to receive their healthy medical bops to the head. Next up is black. Black, I believe, is a pure damaging type attack. So again, white is the only thing here that restores sanity. So if any ranged weapon or any melee weapon that has a white attack, you'll probably want to get just to make sure that you can help out your units if they go crazy. Again, it is recommended though that if your unit does go crazy, you have a fast person who can go bop them. Again, getting on to black damage now. Black damage, if your abnormality has it, will attack not just HP, but sanity at the same time as well. So you'll have to have high in both if the creature attacks with black. Of course, if you're doing the right work list though, you may just be fine. You may. It's difficult to foresee that though. Black damage is also kind of the best to have on a weapon because not many creatures super resist black from what I've seen so far. Finally, you have blue damage. Blue damage would probably be the single-handedly worst thing you can use to deal damage to an abnormality, because not many resist it at all. Blue itself, I'm not sure what type of damage it does deal. It might just deal actual HP damage or not, I'm not quite sure. but I know that blue is the most lethal to the abnormalities. Finally, now we get on to the ego suits themselves, where I will explain what each, color basically is to your employee now, as well as why having these are good. Why having these resistances are good, right? So red, as I said before, it's your HP. Raising it up means that you will be able to tank more hits, and thus you'll be able to research longer and go to other research facilities quicker. Not to mention, recovery will not take as long if you're resisting red damage. If you're resisting white damage, you have less of a chance to get super affected by inside attacks, which is good because because if you work on it, that increases your SP. And with your SP increased, you'll be able to again tank more, and if you endure the hits, you can potentially get better results with your subject, because of course, leaving your subject's containment room due to collapsing of sanity or death tends to result in a bad result 90% of the time. Black endured, black is your temperance. Your temperance is how fast you work and how successful you work, and how successful the work is. So a high temperance is always wanted. Although I have heard rumors that there are some abnormalities who prefer the lower rank of all these stats for your employees, so it's good to keep an eye on that. Finally, we have pale. It's blue. It's blue. It's a light blue color. Don't try to trick me, game. I know I just woke up, but you will not trick me with this. Anyway, pale is your justice. Your justice is your attack speed, and I believe your walk speed. You want creatures that you can raise this up naturally, because to raise it up using these here, the lob points, requires 2 to 3. So sometimes it will be a choice between raising up everything else or just raising up this. Anyway, that's enough for the explanation. It was very lengthy and I apologize. We're going to complete the first day, but first we're going to hire 2 more employees. Another quick thing. You can customize the employee. Again, you can increase their natural abilities, you can change their appearance, but as you see, it costs extra lob, which means to change up this guy here, give him a name, give him a whole new look, would cost too much for me right now, and we would only really want to do that with someone who we know we're going to keep. So for now, we'll just keep randomizing. I like this person's hair and eyes. Kimhul, welcome. Kim and Gim. I like this hairstyle. So Kim, Gim, and Po. So we're going to set them up here. We're going to quickly check out their stats. Okay, it looks like Po has, I think, the most SP and probably the best here due to having 17s all around, except for the 20, which, oh wow, 2 of my units are like that. I got very lucky. And of course, Gim here has instead. Gim is not our best one, but he and or she, I don't care. They have good stats, and I'm pleased with that. So let's equip them with Boppy Stick, the gun. Actually, no. The big gun. And the range fan of hope. And of course, we will have you dressed up in this, because it is it endures the most. This not included because you need an upgraded temperance for that. But we need you to resist this because you have a healing stick of loveliness. And you need to wear this as well because you have the healing fan of loveliness. You, however, need to wear this because not only does it match with that, but it resists red. And we don't want you dying anytime quickly because we need you to shoot things with your big weapon. Let's start the day. Alright. We're going to speed this up because I want rotations done. We're going to check. Okay, so both insight and attachment are high. But because everyone is actually starting with above 15 SP, I feel comfortable with just having them upgrade their temperance first. Now then, to explain the facility itself. As you can see, we are starting off abysmally small. Down here you have the 3 different speeds: normal, quicker, and fastest. You can also pause, which is needing to be done if you want to zoom in and check things, because time will still continue as it around here, and sometimes just leaving these guys idle can be the worst. As you can see, whenever we research an abnormality, you can see them say some stuff at times. It's kind of neat, it depends. But the most important thing is this meter here and this number. This number is your results, which means you will see if you're going to get a good, normal, or bad result right off the bat. Well, you'll be able to see, for just in case you can't count these boxes. I actually prefer this being here because it lets you know right off the bat what's going on. Every successful box will be marked by a green colored in box here, while every unsuccessful one will be red, and probably result in your unit taking damage. This up here is, I believe, your little limit on how many. Well, basically what happens here is every time you go to a containment unit, you will basically be met with your like, shit's gonna go down and problems are gonna occur meter here, the danger meter. Whenever you go into one of the containment units, when this reaches max, one of those or multiple of those containment units will flash red above the name, and you'll have to send an employee in there to kind of calm the creature down. And you can do that, or if all these boxes are obtained, you can just end the day right there and not have to worry about any consequences. However, if you let that red meter above them, it's timed, go all the way down, the unit will escape. Or if their Quailov counter goes down, the unit will escape. So it's very much paying attention and remembering things, keeping them happy, making sure you pay attention to what tips they had. It's all very important. But also, leveling up your units is very important. So that's why we're doing this little rotation. We're going to do it about 3 times, and then I'm going to end the episode there because it's already very lengthy. I explained far more than I ever thought I would. And already we're not looking too hot on the results page. Oh, there you go. Nice. They did well. Okay. Of course, I'm keeping this on ×2 speed. As the days continue onwards, there will be less explanation, unless I'm explaining the creature itself, and more just playing the game. Again, not doing super good right off the bat, but she's picking up her stride now. I'm kind of hoping one of them obtains the drop gift, because that would be very nice to have the extra 2 SP. Of course, I love the funky music of this game. There we go. It reached max. We have the meter, so you can see what I mean. Thankfully, if you have a unit in there already, and they are working with the abnormality, this won't go down until you come out, and it still won't go down until this goes down fully. So you should be fine every time this happens. Assuming you're in the unit's, containment field. She got her gift too. Nice. You gonna help us out and get a gift to your own too? It's 5% drop rate. Anyway, I actually don't know if you can do anything with these boxes after you obtain the max amount of, armor and... Oh, when did you get that? Huh. I might have messed up the cycle already. Oh, something else I forgot to mention actually. Not all the time, which is why I'm making use of it now, will this just max out and you just have a problem here. Other times, you will have an actual fucking event to work with. And that event will most of the time be kill the random thing that has invaded your facility and is messing with your fucking units. It is not a pleasing experience. Hang on, I need to do some quick math here. Yeah, I'm 90% certain this is our last rotation. I'm pretty sure. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. This up here is basically your... Oh, it increases their movement speed. Interesting. This is also the... I believe this also shows you when your units are getting healed and such. Last one. Potentially. Yeah, this shows when units are getting healed, and of course, you can use this button here to call back all employees. This is very useful for when you're sending people to go and, you know, hunt down and fuck up the units who come basically after a disaster moment here. Or after the creature, you're sending them out to go fight the creatures or suppress an abnormality. Because I don't think she got her third time, her second/third time in, we'll send her in and then we'll end the day. No luck gaining another drop, huh? Oh well. Paul got it, so that's fine. With her little star eyes. Alright, let's end the workday. So, if I was doing this game from Super Start over, what would have happened here is I would have probably been trying to get the mission so I can get the max amount of lobby points, because I already did it, and they're like, well, we don't need you to do it again, we already know you're good. It's cool. S rank, of course, I believe you get that whenever all your employees are alive. An employee survival rate is not just listed by them dying, by the way. If they go crazy and you end the day, that still counts as an employee death because they will be shot for being unable to complete their job. Of course, if any stat went up high enough, you will see that they were promoted, and you will see what their promoted stat. Ah, she actually got an extra time. I messed up. She's a little unbalanced now. But I am happy to see that each of them have been upgraded, which is good for me. And if things truly go fucking titwards, if tits rocket skyward, you can always retry the day and attempt... Oh, this is worrisome. We can always attempt the same day again and try to have a better result. I say this because I've done this a lot to keep my units from, you know, getting utterly fucked up and losing some of my better people. You won't see me retrying too much while recording because I don't endeavor to fail, but if I do, I'll try to like keep it minimum or edit out and be like, we made an oopsie. It depends, in all honesty. Anyway, I really do hope you enjoyed this episode of Lobotomy Corporation. I hope this will be a very fun and prosperous random. If you like this video, leave a like on the video itself, subscribe to the channel for similar content. Until the next video, big thank you for watching, and laters.